Hey, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson, excited to be with you and excited to share the news with you. This is going to be a little different because what I have done today is just go after lefty meltdowns and wild reporting on lefty meltdowns. It's going to be fun, folks. These people are losing their stuff, shall we say, because they cannot deal with the realities of a Trump presidency. So do me a favor, as you join the stream, please smash that like, chat in with where you're from. But let's start off with this gem just prior to the 2024 election, actually on the day of the election, when this lefty told us Hillary Clinton was absolutely, without a doubt, 100% going to win. Check it out.
Okay, so we're closing in on almost 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I've been tracking everything that's been going on across the country today. And my most important encounter was when I went out to get my champagne. I was talking to the guy in the store, of course, asking him, did he vote? And he said he did early voting, and he asked me if I early voted. And he asked me, why I was getting the champagne. And I said, because I'm going to be toasting Madam President tonight. And he just looked at me with kind of like a smirk on his face. And I said, she's going to win this, right? And he says, oh, well, it's very, very close. And I said, no, it's not. He says, well, what do you mean? I said, no, it's not. The women of America are making their voices heard. Reproductive rights is what it all comes down to. And the women are voting in numbers relative to men that are unbelievable. She's won this. And I said to him, she's going to take every one of the swing states plus Iowa. And he said, oh, but the numbers are so close. I said,
she had read that Seltzer poll, folks. Do you remember the Seltzer poll that was off by like 14 points? This is so delicious. This is why, by the way, they aren't doing well right now. They bought into the media narrative. They are not doing well at all.
I'm a political analyst. I'm telling you right now.
She's a political analyst.
Numbers are there. She's taking this election. And then I said to him, you realize, and he didn't tell me who he voted for, but of course I knew. And I said, you do realize you wasted your vote, right? And I didn't care. And I walked out with my bottle of champagne and happily walked home. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Folks, thank you for all the birthday wishes, by the way. I see them there in the chat. Please do smash that like, chat in with where you're from. Oh, that's so delicious. Okay, but seriously, these people have a mental condition, okay? They honestly do. But as I get into this stream, do yourself a favor. It may be my birthday, but that doesn't mean you can't get yourself something, folks. Giza Dream Sheets, $49.98, any color, any size, over at mypillow.com/lumberjack, or by calling the 800 number at 1-800-568-2865. Again, that's 1-800-568-2865. Still some kitchen towels on sale. Also, those energy drinks, folks, save up to 30%. Get a free 3-pack. All you have to do is sign up for a subscription. If you don't like them, you can say, hey, cancel my subscription. But you're going to love them. They taste great, and they work great. My favorite pre-workout drink now is the Rev 7. All right. So let's pull that out. Folks, there's a literal meltdown going on the left. Now, there's a couple things, too. Now, of course, Jake Tapper's got his book out. I mean, if you didn't know, they're promoting it on CNN every 5 minutes. Every single host on CNN promoting Jake Tapper's book, Original Sin. Yes, that's right. But them and their friends at MSNBC were the same people who constantly told us this.
Your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years.
Not a close
second. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
If it weren't the truth, folks, he wouldn't say it. Joe Biden was so super sharp. And now, of course, we're not supposed to talk about it because he's got cancer. We're also, folks, and I do not want to be insensitive at all to some of these issues, but we're not supposed to talk about this stuff. And I am going to talk about it, though. So get ready. Roll your tapes because I'm about to tell you the truth. Okay? This may be one of the craziest expos I've ever seen by this oil field rando. He said, this article is delicious. Meet Caitlin. Caitlin was so upset about being fired from her DEI-focused government job that her husband had to put her in a nut house. She really can't stand inequality. It literally drives her crazy. So this is out of an article by the Washington Post. I'll pull back here. And it says, more than 30 former and current federal workers told the Post that the chaos and mass firings by the U.S. DOJ service had left them feeling devalued, demoralized, and scared for themselves and their countries. White House officials wanted to put federal workers in trauma, and it's working. Oh, gosh. Folks, this is a wild one, okay? So here you go. Meet Caitlin. She studied. Hold on, I got to move something on my screen. She studied creative writing in college and graduate school and took a job in 1994 teaching at Harvard Westlake in Los Angeles, an elite private school attended by children of Hollywood executives. But the work felt like a betrayal of her values. Instead of fighting inequality, she told friends, she was perpetuating it. So at 35, Caitlin quit and moved with her husband and children to Baltimore to study sociology at Johns Hopkins University. She drove around with bags of new socks in her trunk for people on her commute who were homeless. Oh. Then it happened, folks. She got shit crazy. To reach Caitlin that day on the fire escape, Mike folded his body out the bathroom window. He squeezed down next to her on the black metal grating and told her, "We can get you help." He guided her back inside, and soon after, he and Emily convened an emergency meeting with Caitlin's psychiatrist. They persuaded her to check into a residential mental health facility in Virginia. Before she entered the facility, Caitlin applied for several jobs outside government. The exhaustion and worry had become too much, she told her family. She wanted a way out. So, folks, this is the Washington Post reporting this. It is too hard for these people to search for jobs in the private sector where they do not have DEI hiring requirements. I kid you not. This is real. This is real. And the sad part of it is, folks, but this, they're literally accusing. I do not want to be insensitive. Look, I know people who have taken their lives, but look at what the Washington Post has done here. I'm having a really bad day, she told him. Mike tried to reassure her, but Caitlin kept saying, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. Over the years, in her darkest moments, Caitlin had often told him she felt she didn't measure up. She never felt adequate as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, or as a researcher. Of course you're enough, Mike said over the phone. You do so much. You're more than enough. Caitlin kept crying. You're enough for me, he tried to tell her, but soon after she hung up. Okay? The next call Mike received 98 minutes later was from a hospital in Virginia. He later learned that the mental health facility had staff checking on Caitlin every 15 minutes, but she saw an opening between checkups and she offed herself, folks. Now, I look, this is the most absurd article ever published by any media publication. They are literally blaming her suicide on cutting the federal government, when in reality, it is the coddling of the left that has done this to people, okay? That we are responsible for our own lives. She was responsible for her, okay? Here, give you some more. These ones don't end in that anyways. Unbelievable. I cannot believe the Washington Post. Absolute trash rag. Jeff Bezos sucks. You didn't meet Monique Lockett because Doge murdered her. They killed her. Sure, she was a gigantic comorbidity pinata, but Doge killed her. And the Washington Post put a picture of her in the casket in the article. Look at this. There she is in her casket. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. This is absolute trash news, folks. She didn't need to die. The day he was inaugurated, Trump signed an order requiring federal workers to return to the office 5 days a week. Casting government employees as lazy, he predicted a very substantial number of people will not show up to work. Social Security worker Monique Lockett, 53, rarely missed a day of work and didn't intend to start, so she brought a new briefcase that rolled on wheels. Into it went a keyboard and a mouse. Because Social Security's headquarters in Woodland, Maryland, lacked equipment for the droves of returning workers, she packed a heater. Because the aging building was often cold. And a water bottle, because last year inspectors found Legionella bacteria in the building's pipes. No, she didn't die from the bacteria, folks. On the morning of February 18th, Monique and others returned from President's Day weekend to an office tense with news of King's departure and rumors of more cuts. Monique was at her cubicle on the third floor of headquarters when she collapsed, coworkers said. The medical examiner listed the cause of death as hypertensive atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Monique's family and many close coworkers blamed her heart attack on stress at work. Monique had risk factors for heart disease, including obesity, high blood sugar, and high cholesterol, according to her medical records. 2 experts who reviewed her records at the Post request said in cases like hers, stress, uncertainty, and tension at work can contribute to cardiac arrest. That's right. Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they killed her, folks. No, we're not kidding. This is this is the stupidest crap I've ever seen. Is this not? I want answers in the chat. Do you think I'm being insensitive, or is this the stupidest bunch of BS reporting you have ever seen in your life by such a liberal trash rag publication? We have literally created a whole generation of people who cannot be able to go to work 5 days a week, who cannot stand the stress of having to go to work. Why do they have jobs? Is the federal government supposed to be a care clinic for the mentally deranged now? This is unreal. Hold on. I got more. Meet Richard Midget. On the drive home after his layoff, he blasted indie rock music to drown out the sound of his own sobbing. And oh no, he couldn't call his parents because dad voted for Trump. Here he is, folks. Another one of your federal workers. I just don't know what I'm going to do. On February 14, Richard Midget cleared out his desk at Yellowstone National Park headquarters. On the way home, he blasted indie rock music to drown out the sound of his own sobbing. The route home took him across the only bridge in Gardner, Montana. He had never suffered from depression or other mental problems, he said, but as he sat, newly unemployed, in his idling car just past the bridge, he was overwhelmed by dark thoughts. He wondered how he would pay for a new apartment lease, his student loans, and medicine for his Crohn's disease. He'd worked at the park now for only 2 months. Can you imagine getting that upset about a job you only had for 2 months? He recalled the foolish pride he felt when he first put on the National Park Service uniform after besting 200 others for an IT job he had worked for years to attain. I thought I was finally getting somewhere, he said, building a career in life. He pulled into a gas station next to the bridge and considered calling his parents. His dad had voted for Trump, and for weeks he had been cheering the president's promises to purge the government. Instead, he dialed Kate Brecken, 69, his boss from a previous job in park concessions. She immediately drove to the bridge and gave him a hug. I just don't know what I'm going to do, he told her. Folks, these are the most tragic stories that you've ever heard in your life. Government workers who had to go to work or get laid off due to the fact that the money wasn't there. But you, the American taxpayer, should be sad, and you are on the ropes to pay for their job so that they can have mental health. so that they can be in these jobs and have some sense of purpose. Even though they're underperforming and you're not getting your money's worth, you should do it anyways. Because if you don't, you're an insensitive prick. Oh my gosh. God help us all. These people cannot be real. I know what you're like, it can't be real. Here, I'm going to show you something. America First Legal has moved to intervene in a major lawsuit to overturn an unlawful decades-old and race-based consent decree and restore merit-based hiring in the federal government. This is what they're all freaking out about. Merit-based work, merit-based hiring. For 44 years, a race-based consent decree has prohibited the federal government from using standardized merit-based exam to hire civil servants. It's unconstitutional, must be overturned. It will be overturned, folks. 1981, during the final days of the Carter administration, the Office of Personnel Management entered into the Loveno Consent Decree, ending the use of standardized written aptitude tests in federal hiring. Under President Trump, OPM asked the U.S. District Court of the District of Columbia to dissolve the decree, arguing it violates the U.S. Constitution and Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. We are going to see an end to this nonsense, folks. This is one of the greatest things about Trump being elected. Accountability in the federal government again. I mean, it's just wild. Here, do you guys want to see something crazy? Trump posted this to True Social a few days ago. Watch this.
John F. Kennedy Jr., he was declared the frontrunner for the New York Senate seat back in 1999. Days later, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, and his rival, Hillary Clinton, was elected senator. Mary Mahoney was a Clinton White House intern. She knew enough of the inner workings of Bill's sexual advancements to be a star witness during the Clinton impeachment trials. She was brutally executed at a Starbucks she was managing in 1997. In 1993, White House counsel Vince Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park near D.C. He supposedly killed himself, and among a lengthy list of potential foul play, the bullet was never found. Then there's James McDougal, a key witness for White House prosecutors. He was serving his 3-year sentence for bank fraud at the Fort Worth Federal Medical Center in Texas. And just before he was to give a testimony before the grand jury, McDougal suffered a heart attack in solitary confinement. In 2015, Walter Scheib, a White House chef hired under Bill Clinton, joined the list. His body was found at the bottom of a river, nearly 2 miles from the base of the trail he was reportedly hiking. An autopsy determined that Scheib's death was accidental drowning, but he might have known too much. 27-year-old Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich was shot and killed in D.C. this year. There is speculation that he was the source of the controversial leaked emails allegedly sent by DNC staffers, and that he may have been murdered in retaliation. Then Sean Lucas, the lead attorney in a fraud case against the DNC, was found lying on the bathroom floor by his girlfriend when she returned home on August 2nd. His death was reported classified, pending the results of an autopsy.
Donald Trump actually posted that to True Social. This is on the heels, too, of real investigations from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the DOJ. Letitia James is under investigation now, folks. I mean, it's absolutely wild. Let me see. I want to take you to some others. Oh, let me see. What is the... Oh, I want to go to this one, I think. Get ready. This one's fun, too. Okay. I got to put this in. And so this is protesters being removed after interrupting Rubio's testimony. You want to see some liberals losing their crap? I've watched this thing at least 5 times. Get ready. This is amazing. And they want you to stand up for Gaza. Okay. Now, Gaza is beginning to stand up for itself. The citizens of Gaza are out protesting Hamas in the streets. That's exactly what needs to happen. They need to take their own country back. Okay? But watch this.
What is going on? Stop it! Israel is a genocide! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I cannot live in peace! I will not be silenced while there's a genocide going on!
No weapons to Israel.
Stop it! I cannot live in peace! I act. It's a small sacrifice to raise your voice.
I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing every time I watch that thing. It's just, I mean, when she comes out the door here, just watch the beginning again.
Oh my God! Stop it! Israel is a genocide! Stop it! Stop it!
Watch it again.
Oh my God! Stop it! Israel is a genocide! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I cannot live in peace. I
Cannot live in peace. Oh, I gotta get somebody else super chatting me. Thanks for these birthday super chats. Doge fart. Oh, by the way, my wonderful mod Lisa, she sent me a Cash App. See that? Look at that. She sent me $15. Thanks, Lisa. So, yeah, folks, this is hilarious stuff to me. I'm sorry, I can't get enough of it. Let's go to this one here. I got another clip. Watch this. So this is. You saw the other day, Tom Holman is starting to do workplace raids. And then I even saw a sob story because outside at a Home Depot parking lot, ICE was rounding up illegals. Okay, and everybody says these are jobs Americans won't do. No. Can we just stop with that? Oh my gosh, somebody else, look at this. A $20 super chat from Northwest Wisconsin. Thanks, Trump Sword. That's really kind of you. Thank you. But so while all these workplace raids were going on, now this gal comes out and she's so upset. There's nothing worse than white liberal women. I'm sorry. It's just a reality.
Closed early tonight because ICE raided Broadway in Nashville. They went into the bars, specifically the kitchens of the bars, and they racially profiled a lot of the workers in there, detained them illegally, searched a lot of these places without warrants. Now,
okay, again. These people don't understand how the law works, okay? They're not just racially profiling. They actually have tips that there are people there. You do understand this, right? They're not just walking into every single business and doing this, right? You guys all get this. I mean, these people are so insufferable. They have a tip. They have reason to believe. They have cause to go in there and look for the illegals.
a lot of the workers who are dragged away from their jobs are being detained indefinitely until they can prove their citizenship. There's no telling how long they'll be detained. It could be 2 days, it could be 2 months. But a lot of very hardworking people, mothers, fathers, people supporting their
fathers from Maryland, folks, Maryland dads,
families, went to work tonight and don't know when they're going to be going home or dragged away in the middle of doing their jobs. Like, it's extremely important to talk about the fact that this is happening all over the United States. It
really is extremely important, folks. I do want to interject here. It's extremely important to talk about the fact that this is happening because they can self-deport, get $1,000 in a free plane ride. You do know that, right? So I am so glad this woman is exposing this. These lefties are nuts, but they're actually doing the Lord's work.
It's what your tax money is being spent on, and more importantly, it's being spent illegally. So yeah, this is real. It's happening. It's tearing families apart. It's ruining lives. It's illegal.
It's illegal. It's illegal. No, what's illegal is coming into the country illegally, overstaying your visa illegally. That is actually illegal.
And we're only 5 months in.
These people just are too much for me, man. They really are. It's just awesome. Here, I'm going to give you guys something. I want to share something with you. And I don't know how many of you saw this, but Elon Musk was talking the other day, and I think this is such an indictment of the Republican Party. I just want to say this really quickly, and I think you're going to see more of this if the Republican Party can't pull its head out of its hiney.
Closed.
I'm not talking about you, the people, but I'm talking about the actual politicians in the party. The GOP not voting on Doge cuts is the single stupidest decision in the history of the Republican Party. They talked about cutting spending, and that's all they did. Elon came in with a team and a plan. The GOP didn't give a damn. I'm so disappointed. So listen to this. Listen to what Elon had to say about giving and politics.
I think in terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
I think I've done enough.
Is it because of blowback?
Well, if I see a reason to do political spending in the future, I will do it. I do not currently see a reason.
What about?
I think.
Okay, did you guys catch that? This is Elon Musk. Okay, he 100% gave of himself. Okay, his time. This is the wealthiest man. His time is worth more than anybody else's on a dollar basis. You understand that, right? I'm not saying that his time as a person is worth more than yours, but his ability to make money is so far surpasses ours. Okay, any one of us here in the audience. Okay, some of us have done great things, but for him to give of his time like that to Doge and not be paid, and then to give hundreds of millions of dollars to see the saving the country, only to see the Republicans not even able to codify into law and make the Doge cuts permanent, it's pretty appalling. It's pretty appalling. Decker's Bows gave me a happy birthday text. Thank you so much, Gerald. This guy, he is so great, folks. He's out in Pennsylvania. He owned a bow shop, actually, and does a sawmill, and he hunts. We might connect for some hunting out in South Dakota this year or something along those lines. But one time, I got to tell you a quick story. I was at a tire shop in Hibbing getting work done to my vehicle, and I did a live stream from there. The tire shop, by the way, folks, those of you who wonder why I never live stream from the tire shop anymore, it's closed. The tire shop, my favorite tire shop, closed. Royal Tire in Hibbing. Anyways, but this guy figured out where I was based upon the fact he must have looked up in there and said, oh, okay, here's these places in Hibbing. And he started calling around, figuring out which tire shop in Hibbing I was at and paid my bill. That's Gerald Decker, Decker's Bows. Okay. Anyhow, thank you so much for that super chat. Had to give you a big shout out there. So thank you. But this is, I don't know what you guys think about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Elon saying this? Do you think he's right in saying it? I guess my feeling is I would love to see him do more, but I was thinking of writing to the Republican Party as well, because I have given him my money. I've given him my time, all these things to the Republican Party. And then to not make the Doge cuts permanent really ticks me off. I mean, Donald Trump is carrying their sorry butts right now. And he does need the House and Senate not to be completely opposed to him. So don't worry. I'm going to be out in the midterms and I'll be doing my things. But if they can't get behind Trump and make some real cuts and get this agenda moving forward, what is this? Happy birthday from California. Appreciate every day what you do. Dave, thank you so much for that. Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. This will probably be the only show I get done today, and I just wanted to have fun covering these liberal meltdowns. But I got to take my kid out fishing. That's what I got to do. Here, but I got another one for you. This is good. Okay. So this is Maze, one of the best follows on X. Maze Moore. He said, ready to laugh? July 2017, Jamie Raskin begins a Democratic effort to remove Trump from office, accusing him of being mentally unfit to be president. Raskin's first step was calling for a permanent body to be created that would continually monitor the health of the president. In 2024, Raskin was one of Biden's biggest defenders, continually telling America that Biden was healthy and mentally fit for office. Let's watch this.
Hi, Liz. A Maryland Democrat is trying to increase support for the bill he drafted a couple of months ago. It would establish a panel to determine whether or not President Trump is fit to serve.
So something is deeply wrong at the White House, and we hope whoever's in control over there can get on top of it and pull back from this terrible situation. He's no gentleman, and he seems increasingly like a barbarian in terms of his treatment of his fellow citizens. So something is deeply wrong at the White House.
Representative Jamie Raskin proposed his bill in April and it headed to committee in early May. At the time, 20 Democratic lawmakers signed on as co-sponsors. Raskin argues that Section 4 of the 25th Amendment gives Congress the power to set up a permanent body to decide whether or not the president is able to perform the responsibilities of the office. To that effect, Raskin wants to create a, quote, independent, nonpartisan body known as the Oversight Commission on Presidential Capacity.
All this legislation does is to set up a permanent body, not just for this presidency, but for all presidencies to come. The physical health of the president, the mental health of the president is something of fundamental importance to the national security of the country and the continuing effectiveness of the government. So I think that, some of the current events have concentrated our mind on the problem, but we need to set this up as a matter of institutional responsibility as Congress.
Yeah, that's real, folks. That's Jamie Raskin right there, man. These people, all they did was lie to us. Okay, I had no problem with forgiving people. Forgive people every day. Okay, and I can actually forget. One of the things that we are to do as Christians is not count people's sins against them, to be able to forget. In fact, in the stones on the priest's robe back in Israel, one was the stone of Manasseh, I believe it was, and that was the stone of forgetting. Okay, if I'm getting the right stones right. Okay, I'm not a scholar, but this is just one of the things that I've learned over the course of time. I think it was Manasseh. It's the stone of forgetting, because God casts our sins as far away as the east is from the west into the sea of forgetfulness. So we have to be able to forget. Okay. A lot of people say, I'll forget, but I'll never forget. People have this whole walk in life wrong. Our job is to learn to love. Okay. This is different. This is a lie being perpetrated on you by a media that's complicit, and not at all, folks, are they concerned enough to actually repent. So we are fighting for freedom in this case. Okay, in your personal life, everybody around you, man, your friends, your family, they wrong you. You better forget it. I'm serious. Like, you let that stuff go. Like water off a duck's back, be completely unoffendable. Completely unoffendable. This is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the national media and national policy. Okay. Y'all guys understand the difference? Let me see. The two greatest collective of liars on the planet are the media and the politicians. Happy birthday. Absolutely. 100%. I almost think the media at this point is even worse than the politicians. When I'm looking through these clips. Here's another one. Watch this.
Alina Habba. It is being reported that she has apparently filed charges against New Jersey Congresswoman LaMonica McIver.
This was the greatest. Remember when I did this stream, folks? I was so excited. I was dancing. LaMonica McIver, because they've always told us that no one is above the law. So let's see some even-handed justice. This will stop this nonsense, okay? This was not congressional oversight. Don't buy their lie, but I love this meltdown.
Your reaction to this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm just learning the news as we all are now. It is chilling. The reason why they're doing this is to shut me and my Democratic colleagues up.
It's to shut him and his Democratic colleagues up, folks. I've got to interrupt this every once in a while because otherwise I'll probably get copyrighted due to this violin playing, okay?
They're
doing it to make us afraid, he said. They're doing it to make us afraid. Now you can't even hear him. He's drowned out by Trump and Cat Turd playing the violin. Anyways, folks, I'm telling you, I'm excited. I am. I'm still frustrated. I shared that Elon clip, but on a whole, I'm excited. We are seeing actionable items. Okay, we are seeing things take place. We're seeing ICE raids. Tom Homan is very serious. Stephen Miller is very serious. The Trump administration is so much better, this Trump administration, than his last administration. So I'm very excited about all that. But I want to see more cuts. I want to see those cuts codified into law. That's what I want to see happen. And I'm sure you all do too. That's why I had, Congressman Cloud on just the other day. If you missed that, if you want to find out a little bit more about the big, beautiful bill, you can go check that out. I'm all for passing the big, beautiful bill, but I do want to see real cuts. I want to see the Doge cuts codified into law. I want to see us stop all this foreign aid nonsense, transgender gerbils or whatever else they're up to these days. They're not helping our country. They're not doing anything for us. They're wasting the American taxpayer dollars and driving us further into debt. So keep fighting the good fight. I'm going to go fishing with my kids on my birthday. That's what I'm going to do. Hope you guys, do something fun today too, or something good. And if you got a birthday coming up, anybody else got a birthday here today, May 21st? Anybody else got a birthday on May 21st? Let's see in the comments here really quickly. I have one of my best friends, actually, folks, Adam Johnson, the lectern guy. He's been on the show a number of times. It's his anniversary today. So if you're on X, you can go over to Adam Johnson and wish him a happy anniversary. I think it's his 14th year. 14. Let me just double check here. It is 14 years. It's his 14-year anniversary. My friend Monty Marino, who ran for U.S. Senate here in Minnesota, it's his wedding anniversary as well, and one of my good friends' birthday. So anybody else got a birthday? May 9th? Okay, well, you're close, Lisa. Anyways, folks, thanks so much for joining me on today's stream. We'll see you on the next episode. All right, peace out.